This is a demonstration of exercise M733, preparing a financial budget, schedule of cash receipts, and schedule of cash payments. AguaCool is a distributor of bottled water. For each of the items, compute the amount of cash receipts or payments AguaCool will budget for September. The solution to one item may depend on the answer to earlier items. In the requirements, it states in Part A that management expects to sell equipment that costs $14,000 at a gain of $7,000, and accumulated depreciation on this equipment is $5,000. So the cash receipts from this sale will be equal to the cost minus the accumulated depreciation, which would be the book value, and then the additional gain on the sale. So we were given the cost of $14,000 and the accumulated depreciation of $5,000. So the book value of the equipment was $9,000, but we expect to get $7,000 more than that, because that was why it said that we would get a gain. So the total cash receipts for the sale of the equipment would be $16,000. In the B part, it states that management expects to sell 7,100 cases of water in August and 9,000 cases in September. Each case sells for $14. Cash sales average 20% of total sales, and credit sales make up the rest. 3/4 of credit sales are collected in the month of the sale, and the balance is collected in the following month. So the first thing we need to do is to determine the total sales for each of the months. So we take the number of cases that they expect to sell, which is 7,100 for August and 9,000 for September, and we multiply that by the $14 per case, which is the sales price. And that gives us our total sales for August and September: 99,400 for August and 126,000 for September. Now the problem stated that cash sales average 20% of total sales and credit sales make up the rest. So first we're going to compute the amount of credit sales by multiplying the total sales times 80%. Then the problem stated that they collect 3/4 of credit sales in the month of the sale, with the balance collected in the following month. So we are now in September. So for the August sales, we are going to collect 25% of the August sales in September, and we're going to collect 75% of the September credit sales in September. So that gives us the amount of cash receipts from credit sales for August and September that will be collected in September. The next thing we need to compute is the amount of the cash sales. So the problem stated that we have 20% of our total sales in cash. So now we have the amount of the August sales that will be collected in September. Then we have the September credit sales that will be collected in September, and then the cash sales for September, for a total of $120,680 in cash receipts from the sales of the bottled water. Now we are going to do Part C. It states that the company pays rent and property taxes of $4,500 each month. Commissions and other selling expenses average 30% of sales. AguaCool pays 1/2 of commissions and other selling expenses in the month incurred, with the balance paid the following month. So we have our total sales for August and September, and we add those together for the total for both months. And now we're going to calculate the amount of that commission and other expenses. So 30% for each of the months according to the problem. So we have our August commission expense, September, and then the total. Then the problem states that 50% of these are paid in the month incurred and the balance in the following month. So 50% of the August expenses would be paid in September, and 50% of the September expenses would also be paid in September. And so we can add those two together and get 50% of the total, and that gives us the total amount of the commissions and other expenses that would be paid in September of $33,810, and we would add to that the rent and property taxes of $4,500. So for the month of September, our total cash disbursements would be $38,310, And that is the conclusion of the demonstration for exercise M733.